You ever notice how just one game sometimes can tell you so much about where teams are going?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Well, that's kind of what we're doing today.
Okay.
Taking a deep dive into that recent Warriors-Lakers game.
Big matchup.
Yeah, always a big one. We're working with this awesome YouTube breakdown. It's by Ilsoham Sosta.
Okay.
This segment's called Get TUP J. Williams Gets Painfully Honest on Luka Doncic Shooting as Lakers Lost to Warriors. Quite a mouthful.
Right.
But the goal here, cut through all the hype.
Yeah.
Understand, what really made the Warriors win. What does it mean for both teams? And hopefully give you, listening, a little bit more of that insider's view of, high-stakes NBA ball,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is a game with a lot of playoff implications too, right? This wasn't just any regular season game.
Totally. Like the LeBron versus Steph.
Oh, yeah.
That rivalry, kind of like the rivalry of this generation,
It is, yeah.
And the analysis even says straight up, this Warriors team is going to be a tough out in the playoffs. No doubt.
So, final score. Warriors 123, Lakers 116.
Right.
But here's the thing. Warriors were up by 13 at half.
Okay, so they blew a lead.
So it got pretty close.
Yeah, they let them back in it.
So let's get into it. How did the Warriors pull this off?
Well, one of the things that jumps out immediately is just how well the Warriors have been playing since Jimmy Butler joined the team.
Right.
I mean, since February 8th, when he came on board, there's something like 20-4.
Wow, that's a huge turnaround.
It is. And get this. When Butler and Curry are on the court together, they're 19-2.
Really?
19-2. So that's a pretty good indicator of how well they're clicking together.
Or what, unstoppable at that point?
Pretty much, yeah.
And, I mean, Curry, in this game, he was on fire, man. 37 points in 34 minutes.
Yeah, classic Steph.
And something the analysis points out, it's pretty interesting. Since Butler's been there, Curry's scoring average has gone up. It was at 22 a game before.
Okay.
Now it's 28. So Butler's presence is actually making him a better scorer.
It's not just Butler scoring. It's changing how everyone else plays, too.
Right. It's opening things up for him.
Right.
Defenses can't just focus on Curry anymore.
Yeah.
They've got to worry about Butler, too.
Yeah.
And that gives Curry more space to work.
Makes sense. And you know who else really stepped up this game? Brandon Pemsky.
Oh, yeah. He had a great game. Even outplayed Doncic, according to the analysis.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. And they point out that the Warriors haven't lost a single game when Pemsky starts with Curry, Butler, and Moses Moody.
What? Really?
12-0 with that lineup.
So it's like they found their magic formula.
Yeah, it seems like it.
I'm also interested in something else the analysis mentioned. It's about the Warriors' team chemistry.
Okay, off the court stuff.
Yeah. They talk about how the team's been going out together more, watching soccer games. They even mentioned Curry's birthday party.
Right.
And they suggest that all that closeness off the court is translating to better play on the court.
I mean, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
The more comfortable you are with your teammates off the court, the more likely you are to trust them and play well together on the court.
Definitely.
And, we're seeing Jonathan Kuminga really come into his own, too.
Oh, yeah. He's been looking good.
Yeah, he's closing out games for them now, which says a lot about his development.
So they trust him in those big moments.
Absolutely. And Draymond Green even talked about challenging Kuminga to play more in the dunker spot.
The dunker spot, okay. What's that?
It's like that area near the baseline, just outside the restricted area. Perfect spot for a guy like Kuminga to use his athleticism.
So high percentage shots, get him going to the rim.
Exactly. Really efficient scoring.
It really does seem like Jimmy Butler coming to the Warriors has been like a total game changer for them.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
The analysis even compares it to the Lakers getting Doncic. How that was supposed to be the move to get LeBron another championship.
Right.
They're saying Butler might be that piece for the Warriors.
It's a good comparison.
Yeah.
And they both bring that championship experience, that winning mentality.
Yeah.
And it's not just about Butler's individual skills, it's the impact he has on everyone else. The analysis even talks about how Draymond Green seems more focused, more intense since Butler arrived.
It's like a renewed sense of purpose,
Exactly. The whole team just seems more unified, more confident.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Now, shifting gears to the Lakers for a second.
Okay, yeah.
LeBron, he put up a good fight. 33 points.
Yeah, he did his thing.
And Austin Reeves, he had a heck of a game too, 31 points. 20 of those came in the fourth quarter, trying to get them back in the game.
Wow. But they still couldn't quite pull it off.
Nope. And I think a big part of that is Luka Doncic. The analysis calls his performance uncharacteristic.
Uncharacteristic.
Yeah, he shot 6 for 17 from the field. And get this, He didn't make a single three-pointer.
Oh, really?
0 for 6 from three-point range. First time he hasn't made a three in, get this, 114 games.
That's crazy for a
Oh.
guy who shoots as much as he does.
Yeah, not his night.
So Doncic just had an off night. Is that the main takeaway here?
Well, it's more than that. Both Doncic and his coach were pretty honest about his performance.
What did they say?
Doncic straight up called it unacceptable, said it made it harder for the team to win.
Wow.
And his coach basically agreed. They both know they need Doncic to be at his best if they want to win these big games.
Yeah, they rely on him a lot.
They do. And it's not just about his scoring, it's about how he creates for others. When he's off, the whole offense struggles.
Right, right. And the analysis points out something else, something the Warriors did defensively that I thought was pretty smart.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
They seemed to target Doncic specifically. Like they really went at him on defense.
Interesting. So they were trying to exploit him on that end of the court.
It looked like it, and it worked. The Warriors shot 55% from the field when Doncic was guarding them.
That's pretty efficient.
Yeah, and they hit 6 out of 12 threes against him.
So they were really attacking him. And the commentators in the analysis, they made a good point.
What's that?
They said the Lakers got Doncic for these kinds of games.
The big ones. The playoffs.
Exactly. To be the guy who carries them when it matters most. And in this game, against a top contender like the Warriors, he wasn't able to do that.
So it's not just about him having a bad shooting night.
Right. It's about whether he can be the guy they need him to be when the pressure's on.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just that he missed shots, it was the Warriors' game plan. They knew how to disrupt him.
How so?
They avoided doing something called drop coverage on pick and roll.
Drop coverage.
Yeah, it's where the center hangs back near the basket when the ball handler is coming off a screen.
Okay.
It gives the ball handler space to operate. But the Warriors didn't do that. They switched
That's
everything.
how everything.
Meaning, whenever there was a screen, the defenders would switch who they were guarding. So Doncic couldn't just pick on the weaker defender.
Ah, so they took away his advantage.
Exactly. They made him work for every shot. And, this ties into a bigger concern that the analysis brings up.
What's that?
Doncic has been in a bit of a shooting slump lately.
Right.
He's shooting under 50% in his last 5 games.
Interesting.
So it's not just this one game, it's a trend, and the analysis makes a really important point.
yeah,
If Doncic isn't scoring at a high level, and he's also being targeted on defense.
it puts a lot of pressure on the rest of the team.
Exactly. The analysis as a whole equation falls apart. He needs to be super efficient on offense if
Yeah.
he's going to be a liability on defense.
Makes sense. So what are the big takeaways here? What should we be thinking about after this game?
Well, first of all, the Warriors look like the real deal, especially with Curry and Butler playing together.
Yeah, definitely.
Their chemistry is great, Butler's fit in perfectly, and they're playing with a lot of confidence. It's no wonder the analysis thinks they're going to be a tough out in the playoffs.
Absolutely. And on the Lakers side, Doncic's struggles are a big concern.
They are, especially since it seems like other teams are starting to figure out how to exploit him on defense.
Right.
The Lakers need Doncic to be playing at an all-star level for them to compete with the best teams in the league.
So it's a bit of a crossroads for them,
It is. They need to figure out how to adjust their game plan, both offensively and defensively, if they want to make a deep playoff run.
It was a really interesting game, and I think the analysis we looked at does a great job of breaking down the key factors. We saw the Warriors playing as a cohesive unit with Steph doing Steph things and a really smart defensive game plan.
Absolutely. And on the other side, the Lakers, well, their main guy just wasn't himself.
Yeah. So here's something for everyone listening to think about. We've seen now that teams are really focusing on Doncic defensively.
Mm-hmm.
What can the Lakers do to counter that?
Yeah.
Is it something Doncic needs to work on individually?
Mm,
Or is it more about the team's overall strategy?
right.
It's a big question, and it'll be interesting to see how they address it moving forward.
For sure.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
My pleasure.